In 1994, a financial planner named William Bengen sat down with 30 years of market data and tried to answer a simple question: how much can a retiree safely spend each year without running out? He crunched numbers across every 30-year period going back to 1926, bear markets, depressions, wars, inflation spikes, all of it, and he landed on a figure. 4% of your starting portfolio, adjusted for inflation, should last at least 30 years in the worst historical scenarios. That number got turned into gospel. Save 25 times your annual expenses. Withdraw 4% per year. Retirement solved. Here's what Bengen never said. He built that rule for 1994 markets, 1994 bond yields, and a world where bonds actually paid you something meaningful. He built it before sequence of returns risk was widely understood, before central banks held rates near zero for a decade, and before a retiree's portfolio might need to last 40 or 45 years instead of 30. My name is Ben, and I spend too much time reading the actual academic papers that underpin the rules everyone else just repeats, not blog posts, the actual Bengen paper, the Pfau and Kitces research, the Monte Carlo simulations. And what I found is this: the 4% rule, as most people apply it, has a failure rate that would terrify most retirees if they truly understood what was being promised. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the rule breaks in real life, what assumptions no longer hold, and what a more honest version of retirement math actually requires. Because the gap between what you have been told and what the data says is wide enough to sink an entire retirement. Here is the metaphor to carry through this explanation. Someone hands you a map to navigate a dense forest. Accurate, detailed, carefully drawn, but it was made in 1994. Since then, some paths have flooded, a few bridges have washed out. Nobody updated it. You follow the map and get most of the way, but at some point you hit terrain that does not match what is on paper. And if you are carrying everything you own with no way back, that is not a navigation error. That is a catastrophe. The 4% rule is that map. It was accurate when drawn. The terrain has changed. Here is what Bengen's study actually assumed. A portfolio of roughly 50% stocks and 50% bonds, bond yields of 5 to 7%. In 1994, a 10-year treasury paid 7.5% interest. That yield acted as a cushion. When stocks crashed, bonds were still throwing off real income. You could fund living expenses without being forced to sell stocks at the wrong time. The rule also assumed a 30-year retirement. Today, someone retiring at 60 with good health might realistically plan for 40 years or more. Now look at 2026. Research from Pfau, one of the most credible retirement income researchers working today, ran updated Monte Carlo simulations using realistic current assumptions. His finding: for a 30-year retirement beginning now, the safe withdrawal rate may be closer to 3 to 3.3%, not 4%. That is not a rounding error. That is the difference between withdrawing $80,000 per year from a $2 million portfolio and withdrawing $66,000. That is $14,000 less per year. Over 20 years, the gap is $280,000. It could be the difference between a comfortable retirement and a desperate one. Now, the historical parallel that puts this in full context. Japan, 1989. The Nikkei peaks at 38,915. Japanese retirees, following the equivalent of a 4% withdrawal strategy, are fully invested in domestic equities and bonds. The market collapses. Over the next 13 years, the Nikkei falls 80%. Bond yields drop towards zero, and Japanese retirees experience something called sequence of returns risk. The timing of losses matters as much as the average return. If your portfolio drops 40% in the first 3 years of retirement and you are withdrawing 4% annually, you are selling stocks at their lowest point to fund your groceries. locking in those losses permanently. A Japanese retiree following the 4% rule in 1989 would have run out of money before the year 2000. The rule did not fail because it was badly designed. It failed because the environment it was built for disappeared the moment they needed it most. You might be thinking, Japan is a special case. Historically, the US always recovers faster. And you are partially right. But here is the problem. You do not get to choose which sequence you retire into. You do not know if you are entering a 1995-style decade of expansion or a 2000-style decade of crashes. Same rule, completely different outcomes. Let me make this concrete. Meet Carol. She is 63, has $1.5 million saved, and plans to withdraw 4%, which is $60,000 a year. She retires in early 2026. In the first 2 years, the market drops 30%. Her portfolio falls from $1.5 million toward $900, zeroed. But she has also pulled out $120,000 in living expenses, so her actual balance sits near $780,000. Now, Carol needs $60,000 a year from $780,000. That is not 4%. That is 7.7%. Her plan is structurally broken 24 months in. She did everything the rule said. The rule just did not account for the sequence she was handed. Now meet Derek. Same age. Same $1.5 million. But Derek spent 2 years before retirement reading the actual research. He knew the 4% rule had embedded assumptions, so he built a different architecture. He identified his baseline non-negotiable annual expenses: property taxes, utilities, groceries, insurance. That total was $38,000 a year. Then he delayed Social Security to age 70. His monthly benefit at 70 is $3,100, which is $37,200 per year in guaranteed income that never runs out and adjusts for inflation automatically. His baseline life is covered before he touches the portfolio by a dollar. He is now withdrawing 2.5% from investments for discretionary spending only. He can survive a 40% market crash without selling a single share to pay his electric bill. The difference between Carol and Derek is not their account balance, it is their structure. Carol built a number. Derek built an income machine. Here is the practical framework, not what sounds elegant, what the data supports. First, calculate your guaranteed income floor before thinking about withdrawal rates at all. Add up Social Security, any pension, any rental income from property owned free and clear. Everything that arrives regardless of what markets do. That is your real safety margin. Most people skip this because they are focused on the balance number rather than the income architecture underneath it. Second, delay Social Security if your health allows. Every year you delay past 62 increases your benefit by 6 to 8%. Delaying from 62 to 70 can nearly double your monthly check. For someone who lives to 85, that difference can represent $150,000 or more in additional lifetime income. It is the highest guaranteed return available to most Americans, and most people leave it untouched. Third, build a bucket structure. 2 years of living expenses in cash. The next 5 years in intermediate bonds or dividend-paying equities. Everything else in long-term growth assets. When markets crash, you spend from the cash bucket. You give your growth investments time to recover without being forced to liquidate at the worst moment. This neutralizes sequence of returns risk without requiring you to predict a single crash. Fourth, review your actual withdrawal rate every year. If your portfolio has grown, your effective rate has dropped. If it has fallen, reduce discretionary spending temporarily. Flexible withdrawals dramatically improve long-term survival rates compared to rigid annual increases regardless of conditions. Here is the worldview to carry forward. Most people think retirement planning is about accumulating a large enough number. It is not. It is about converting savings into a durable income machine that survives different economic environments. The 4% rule was a useful starting point in 1994. In 2026, it is a map with missing bridges. The retirees who never run out of money do not always have the largest portfolios. They have the most honest picture of what their withdrawal rate looks like under real stress, and they built a guaranteed floor before ever touching the growth layer you spent decades saving. That was the genuinely hard part. Most people cannot do it. If you did, you already accomplished something most Americans never manage. Do not let a 30-year-old rule built on 1994 assumptions quietly undermine everything you built. Know the assumptions behind every financial rule you follow. The rules that protect you in one decade can fail you silently in the next. And when you are 75 and the math stops working,